And recently, I've got a guilty pleasure. I've been watching congressional hearings because, from what I'm seeing, it's a mixture of comedy, tragedy, like scandal. It's like this. It's everything you want. You know, it should be its own reality show, which it is if you really think about it. If you tune in, it's like its own reality show. If you watch these congressional hearings, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, this exchange between Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace is going viral. It's going viral at this point, and I get why, because she hit her with some "Cash Me Outside" type of stuff. So I'm going to let you guys see some congressional stuff. We're going to go into some congressional stuff because I know I couldn't be in the room when all of this is going on. I would be in the back making noise. I'm a little bit ignorant in situations like that. When I see comedy, I gotta laugh at it. So I'm not quiet. My laugh is not a little quiet laugh. So if you put me in the room with some legislators and I see some goofy shit, I'm telling you right now, I would be the one in the back. You know what I'm saying? Smacking the chair and stuff. That's me. So let me bring this on over here for y'all. Bring this on up. Oh, let's go back here. Hi, look at I call her the bad luck. Why is this 11 minutes long? Did they argue for 11 minutes? I thought it was like 50 seconds. Oh boy. Okay. All right, guys, let's strap in here. I didn't know that the clip was this long. We're going to see how far I can make it. Because when people start to bore me, I get angry. And when I get angry, I got to cut it off. Because, you know, I don't want to rage quit on the congressional hearing. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, she does have it. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't even know how we got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans so that people will feel threatened and child. Listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or not. Do not call me a child. I am no child. I want to find out. I'm a grown woman.
Hold up. We got a subscriber at the same time. I got to bring it back. So you can see the setup. She's just talking Ebonics, in my opinion. But I don't even know how it's funny though. Got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights. It doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans so that people will feel threatened and child. Listen. I want y'all to tell me whether or not. Do not call me a child. I am no child. Don't even start. I am a grown woman. Which of those emails actually have. No, she did say 47.
Claiming my time. You will not do that. I am not a child. I am claiming my time. If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman of the committee.
Let me stop right there. Nancy Mace is okay. 47. She looks all right for 47. I thought she was a little older than that, to be honest. But okay, 47. But she basically tells her, let's take it outside. Let's go ahead and let's take this joint outside. Let's take it to the streets. She puts the challenge out there as if to say, let's go box it out. They can stay in here and talk, but me and you, we got an appointment outside. 3 p.m. Be there. You understand what I'm saying? She put it on the old school elementary school. Let's go outside about this. Now, I don't know why people always say let's go outside. Because if you're being honest, all the best weapons are inside. You know what I'm saying? If you got to throw a chair at somebody, there's no chairs outside. But there's chairs inside. If I got to hit you with this mic stand, there's no mic stands outside, but there's mic stands inside. So I don't really want to take it outside. I want to keep it right here because I'm John Wick with accessories. You understand what I'm saying? Shoot, we're not going outside. No, I'm gonna take that nameplate. Fire! There you go with the nameplate. You see what I'm saying? Look at the background. They got hand sanitizer, All types of, they got a stainless steel water joint, man, boing, right off of somebody's head. No, let's keep it right here, baby. Let's keep it right here. So I'm gonna play it for you again. We'll let it run this time. I don't know. This is our Congress. This is I guess it's representative of the American people. Let's take it outside.
People will feel threatened. And child,
all
listen,
right.
I want y'all
I am
to tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I'm a grown
which
woman.
of
I'm
those
27 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you have.
Chairman, I am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I am
Order.
not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay.
in order.
Oh, she's packing up too. She about to start pulling out her earrings.
Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member?
Uh-oh.
She wants to take it outside.
Hey, I have the First Amendment right too.
And
young
so
man. I have
I'd
the
like
First
those
Amendment
words to be
right. I'm not
taken
gonna
down.
be a child.
I
I'm
am
not
moving
gonna
to
be
have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any of
down.
you.
I believe it's against the rules. to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member of
conversation that isn't.
The committee will
interrupting
suspend.
committee.
The member will stay through.
That was a smooth play though.
Words he wishes taken down.
No, that was a smooth play. How she said, technically, going outside does not mean that we're going to have violence. We could just be going to have a conversation outside of the chambers that we don't need everybody else to hear. That was a good play. She good. She good. She is good. Because I know in the urban communities, the phrase "let's take it outside" means we're going to go out there and whoever loses. But we're going out here, we're going to settle this outside. We're going to scrap. Let's take it outside means we're going to scrap. That's what that normally means. So if you say that to a person of hue, of color, that means that. That's why the black dude responded, and it was aimed at Jasmine Crockett. I get it. Okay. I don't think that Nancy Mace, personally, I don't really think Nancy Mace can beat up Jasmine Crockett. That's just my opinion. I think Jasmine Crockett got a little lower center of gravity. She'd go for them knees and them legs, take her out, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just based on build. So anyway, let me let it run for a second because I didn't know where it went. I thought that was the whole thing, and apparently there was more to it. Let's see if they ever start talking again.
We can take it outside, which is direct violation against the rules, inciting violence against another member.
What rule? What rule?
I mean, I don't know. He's sort of right.
How does that incite violence?
Mr. Chairman, there are, if I might point out, Mr. Chairman, there are decorum rules in the House of Representatives.
And the two parliamentarians are discussing this right now. We'll suspend for a second.
All right, hold on. Are we really about to have a conversation about whether or not to strike down the term "let's take it outside" as a possible violent threat? Now, look, it could have been taken that way, but she already said, well, we could have just been having a conversation. So at this point, you don't know what was going to happen if they went outside because she didn't say, well, yeah, if we'd have gone outside, I would have took it there. No. Hey, thanks for jumping in the chat, April May. April May said that Jasmine's hair and lashes would probably be her downfall in the fight. Now, let's be real. Nancy Mace got some long hair, too. It would have been one of them. Like I said, it would have been a Wildcat fight. If you ever seen the Wildcats fight, they had the hair. So, I'll be honest. I'll be 100% honest. I would literally pay a couple dollars to watch that. Like if Nancy Mace and Jasmine Crockett did I'm not going to say like a mud wrestling thing. I don't want to be disrespectful. Maybe a celebrity boxing kind of thing, right? Let's go that route. So y'all don't think I'm just some dirtbag who wants to see half-naked women. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with half-naked women. I just don't want y'all to think that's all I want to see. But I would pay a couple dollars to see the two of them strap up with some soft gloves and go out there and punch it out for about 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I think in Congress, they should do that. It's representative of the country. And in this country, sometimes we got to take it outside. Sometimes words ain't going to work. Sometimes we got to go handle this like men. And I hate to use the term like men when they say that because that's going to piss off somebody. But what I'm saying is we're either going to fight it out or we're going to agree to disagree, but we're going to settle this right now. It's not going to linger. It's not going to be sitting around. We're going to handle this like right now. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but Jasmine Crockett, she had to move her hair out the way. Her joint was like she had to hit it with the palm and the Like one of those. That joint is, I don't know how much she paid for that, but that joint is heavy. It's a heavy set of hair. So let's see if they get back to it. Hold
The chair's going to
on.
make a rule. What the gentlelady said was, we can take this outside if you want.
Okay. Here we go. Let's split some hairs. Let's go.
Outside and have a cup of coffee or perhaps a beer or, we
Mm-hmm.
have
Seriously, Mr.
lots of
Chairman?
conversations outside. So I'm going to rule that
This is awesome. I love what he just said.
That it's okay.
We get it.
it's okay.
All right, and then point of inquiry.
So it's
Remember, this is a
okay.
slippery slope you're going down because we have.
Oh, you're going
in
down
this
the
committee,
slippery
as you
slope.
know.
Uh-oh.
So just to be clear, in this committee, we can ask threaten violence on someone as long as
no, that's
yeah,
not-
excuse me.
I did not threaten
Excuse
violence.
me.
I threatened no violence.
There was
I threatened no violence.
There was no
As long
violence.
She did say let's take it outside. We're not going. Y'all funny. They funny, man. That's
You
hilarious.
might want to figure this one out.
Order. There was
I thought you were
Chairman.
cursing today.
no violence.
Mr. Chairman,
No violence.
I'm going to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, by the way, America, we pay these people to do this. Continue.
I'm gonna
Chairman, I have
ruling of the
a point of inquiry, and I apologize because I had a meeting and came right down. Is it true that Ms. Mace was belittled by being called a child? Is that against our rules?
She said, child. See, they don't understand Ebonics. This is the whole problem. The woman was speaking in Ebonics, and then Nancy Mace spoke back in additional Ebonics. And it threw the whole chamber off. That's why the black people are like, no, we know what let's take it outside means. And this guy's like, well, was she responding to being called a child? But that's not what child means in Ebonics. Child just means, man, it's the same thing. And if you say, man, listen, right? What, somebody gonna get mad about the pronouns? That's pretty much what that was. So she wasn't calling her an infant. She didn't say that. She just used, this is like a southern kind of, I don't know where she's from, one of them southern type states. But yeah. But she did call it a bleach, MTG. She did call MTG a bleach blonde, butch built body something. Bad built butch body. Yeah, bad built butch body. That's what she called her. And she got away with that one too. Because she didn't directly say that that's who she was talking about. She said, well, what if someone talked about someone being a bleach blonde, bad built butch body? Would that be against the rules? That's how she did that. It was slick. I had to give props. Okay? That was slick. This was slick. Nancy Mace was slick. And now this guy asking a woman about, well, did she call her a child? He obviously does not speak Ebonics. That's not exactly what that means. Okay? Because you could be like, child, listen. That doesn't mean you're talking to a child. It's a term. It's almost a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me let this guy still try to decipher Ebonics in Congress. Let's watch our money. Let's watch our money at work right here. Come on.
The rules we asked for.
Well,
proper
can we
decorum,
strike it
asked
then?
everybody
I'd like to have it
follow.
stricken.
Okay.
I'd
There's
like to have Mr. Crockett's word stricken then.
Stricken.
there's a motion. You have a motion, Mr. Frost?
I move to appeal the ruling of the chair.
There's a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair. Chair recognizes Mr.
And
Gosar.
there's also a motion to strike words, Mr. Chairman.
I move to table, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion.
Motion to take down words, sorry.
There's a motion to table.
Why does it seem like they don't know what they're
The
doing?
motion is not debatable.
Is that just me? They're like, what are we
The
supposed to do
motion is
here?
not debatable. All those in favor of okay. We're going to vote on the motion to table by Mr. Gosar, to table Mr. Frost.
No, we're doing this. They're doing this. They're having a vote on it.
So the motion is not debatable. As
Oh
all
my
in
gosh.
favor of Mr. Gosar's motion to table Mr. Frost's amendment or motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the
Mr.
ayes
Chair,
have
ask for a
it.
recorded vote.
The motion.
Oh,
to agree
my
to a
God.
recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll. We have to do that right now. Clerk.
Oh my God. Is this really what we're doing? So because that lady said child or whatever, and then Nancy Mace said what she said, and he wanted to have the words used to say that they incited violence or something like that, and they want to have it stricken from the thing. They got to take a vote on this. Right now is what he said. So the whole thing got derailed because of that one little exchange. I don't even know what they were talking about. I don't know what the original debate was where the term came up and started this. What I do know is this seems like way too much time to waste on this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at understanding the politics, but it's like, look, they didn't go outside and fight. Can we just push on? Like, why do we have to do all this stuff? She said it, so it should be on the record, but it shouldn't be considered whatever because she said we can go out there if you want to, making it Jasmine Crockett's decision if they were to have gone outside. She wasn't going to go out there by herself, is what she said. So I get it. They spun that amazingly. It was very good work. I'm sure these people have legal backgrounds. That's why they knew what to say, how to say it, and how to come back from saying it. Just like Jasmine Crockett the first time, with the bleach blonde, bad built butch body thing. This is awesome. But I just feel like it's a waste of time too.
Clerk will call the roll.
But why not have some entertainment? Thanks, guys.
Would the clerk report the tally?
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 22, the nays are 17.
The motion to table passes. Now we will go back to debate, and I believe it was Ms. Crockett with 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Mr. Chair, I
motion.
actually had more time than that, but
Mr. Chairman, I
I
have a
can finish
motion.
up in the 2:40.
Chairman, I have a quick. Mr. Chairman, I have a.
We'll give you 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I have a quick motion.
Oh, wait, Chair recognize Mr. Donalds.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move to structured debate for 15 minutes on Ms. Crockett's amendment.
Motion and second to structure debate. for
Sound like
15
he was
minutes.
saying, can we just talk about the real
All
stuff?
those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No.
No,
Motion passes to limit debate to 15
Mr.
minutes.
Chair, I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Really?
Yo, did you hear him? My man said, really? My man said, really? Are you serious? Hold up, I gotta bring it back in case you missed it. He said, really? Like, come on, man, seriously? I didn't know this was, like I said, I just recently started watching this stuff, and this stuff is hilarious, because this is what we pay them to deal with all day is goofiness. Just arguing over parliamentary procedure, and it's just goofy. And then at the end, let's send $80 billion to somebody that we don't know. Recess, like, whoa, y'all spent 15 minutes talking about Jasmine Crockett and whether or not she meant violence or Nancy Mace meant violence. But anyway, let's just listen to this dude one more time. Let's let him say his
Favor
piece.
signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No.
No,
Motion passes to limit debate to 15
Mr.
minutes.
Chair, I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Really?
What?
All right, the clerk will the clerk will call the roll on Mr. Donald's motion to limit debate to 15 minutes to each.
See, Byron Donalds, he's up there. He's black.
Parliamentary.
So he get it.
Mr. Chairman, are we in the middle of
It's just
debating
Ebonics.
this motion?
I don't believe it's debatable, is it?
I'm going to be honest. He was asking if they could get back to her thing for 15 minutes, is what he was trying to say. And then she debates that and wants, they were trying to limit her time to debate about whatever I still don't know what they started with. And this is like 10 minutes into this thing. I don't even know what the original debate was. All I know is the moment she said child, all hell broke loose. Nancy Mace was ready to go outside. And this other dude with the afro starts saying, hey, that's a threat in my community. He know. We know. They know. Maybe some of the old fuddy-duddies don't really know. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're like, yeah, when we go outside, we just go have drinks and stuff. Maybe they really do feel like that. But in the world that I grew up in, that started in the 70s, you don't say let's go outside to just have a chat. You go outside to have a spat. You understand what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a difference. If you go outside and just have a chat, it's only because like you're talking to a woman and it's loud like where you are. You're like, hey, can we go outside? I can't hear nothing that's going on here. That's a whole different conversation. But when there's a conflict and you say, let's take it outside, We already know what that means. You either swing first or get hit first. That's how that works. Once we get out that door jam, once we get out the square, it's on. You see what I'm saying? Like if you cross the threshold of the door and go outside, that means you down to fight. That's what that means. So when you say let's take it outside, the person goes outside, and if the other person comes through the threshold, that's the fight movement right there. You came out here, you know what it is, and we're going to get it done. That's where it starts. That's exactly where it starts. So I'm not going to say that that term didn't mean what it meant. But I also don't think that she really wanted to see Jasmine Crockett. I ain't going to lie. I know she got a lot of hair up there, but she looked like she could scrap a little bit. I'm not saying Nancy Mace can't scrap, but Jasmine Crockett looks like she can scrap. Just a little bit. Like kind of on some Clarissa Shields type of, like she looked like she could scrap just a little bit. She looked like she done been through some things that made her have to learn how to scrap. She was probably short, had some bullies, you know, and that's why she be throwing them shots at them ladies. Hey, make sure we get the likes up real quick while I let them finish out a 10-minute debate about this damn phrasing of using the term child. So for any of my viewers here, any of the viewers of Purge the BS, okay, and what we do over here, I know all of you guys know, but let's just make sure we pass it on to our population that when a woman of brownness from certain areas uses the term child, it's just like an interjection at the beginning part of, it's almost like a greeting at the beginning of a sentence. Like when you write an email or something, hello such and such, child, the same thing. Okay? So I'm going to let them finish this debate, but I just think it's crazy that they're debating 10 minutes over this little situation. I'm thinking, hey, we might as well just take it outside and settle it there. It would have been faster.
It is debatable.
It's debatable. Now we're going to have a debate about it. Okay.
Yeah, the motion debate has already passed. I apologize. So now we're on the vote to, the clerk's calling the vote.
Right,
So,
the recorded vote.
Recorded vote
Thank you.
on Mr. Donald's motion to limit debate to 15 minutes. All right, the clerk will report the vote tally.
Mr. Chairman,
is
on this
crazy.
vote, the ayes are 23, the nays are 16.
All right, the motion passes for Mr. Donalds to limit debate to 15 minutes. Ms. Crockett will get her remaining 4 minutes, and each side will have 7.5 additional minutes if necessary. So the chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for the remainder of her 4 minutes that don't count towards the limit to debate. Then from there on, if there's further requests for debate, there'll be 7.5 minutes each time. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett for her remaining 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The final points that I was going to make is while this amendment has to do with civil rights, for whatever reason,
What
the
amendment are
Congress
they
on the other side of
debating?
the aisle decided to attack Democrats and pretend as if we do not look out for women. And I want to be clear that it's Democrats that were pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment, and I don't recall any Republicans supporting us having the Equal Rights Amendment. I also want to make it clear that just because someone fantasizes or wants to be dramatic about the idea of someone could be a quote unquote man in a locker room or in a bathroom, I've yet to hear an actual testimony of someone who, for whatever reason, has experienced this in real time. But I can tell you some real numbers and some real facts because I don't like to live in fantasy.
All right, hold on. Apparently this was about the guys in the bathroom debate. I didn't know what the debate was. Now I get it. Now I understand where they were supposed to be focused. Okay, so I'm going to say my little piece on that debate because we haven't had a bunch of dudes in bathrooms up until this point, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's not allowed. But if you open the door, then people are going to come in. And I understand, okay, we haven't had a bunch of reports of guys running up in bathrooms, but like I said, it's because right now it would be taboo to see it happen, and people would not want it to happen. And if you see that, what's your first response? Like if some dude gets ready to walk into a bathroom with my granddaughter, right? I'm definitely going to want to stop him, right? But am I going to like call the police after that? And then when the cops show up, what are they going to do? He didn't actually get in there. And even if he was in there, if he didn't do anything, there's nothing they can do. So the point is, let's just not open the door. Let's just not open the door. I get it. Everybody wants to feel how they want to feel. They want to be this. They want to be that. But yeah, let's just not open the door there. That's just a way to get people an opportunity to do things the wrong way. So bathrooms been working fine with the urinals on one side and the stalls on the other since before I got here. Why we need to start changing all that and start letting people be in spaces that people are not going to be comfortable with as a whole. Why is that a debate or conversation? Here's the thing. I am not of that community. So I can't speak on behalf of that community. I can speak on the behalf of the straight men. Okay? And us straight guys do not attack other guys in the bathroom just because of what they have on. Or if we thought a woman came into the men's room, we would not attack that woman. If anything, we would be protective of her and like, hey, go use the stall over here. I'll make sure nobody goes in there. That's what most men like myself would do. So there's no fear on the other end of it. Like if a woman comes into a men's room, it's not, I don't think guys are just jumping on them and all that kind of stuff. Or if a guy that thinks that or identifies as a woman comes into a men's room, I don't think the guys who are in there at the urinal are like jumping and beating them. Now, I'm not saying nobody's ever got beat up in the men's room. I'm just saying I don't believe that it's happening across the population to the point that we need to be worried about it and sending them over to the other bathroom with the fear that somebody's going to get hurt if they go into the men's room. What really, the fear should be if they go over there and somebody like me got their granddaughter in that bathroom. That's where there's going to be more conflict than if you go over there. So I just think it's a poor debate because things were working fine. I'm not saying nobody ever got hurt up. I'm just saying we're not trying to be transphobic. It's not a fear. The fear is not of the people who mean well. Okay? It's just like gun laws and stuff. The law-abiding folks that are doing the right thing, it's not those people that are the problem. It's the ones that when you open the door, they exploit the vulnerability and they use it to do some goofy shit. And before you know it, somebody's child gets kidnapped or something like that, and it becomes a big story. So I just think in the interest of not allowing things to just move forward naturally like that, because bad actors are always going to find their way into everything. If there's a way in, they're going to find a way in, right? So, I don't know. I get it. We want to be inclusive. We want to be tolerant. We want to be all of these things. But what I don't want is for somebody to use that to come up in there and do something goofy to my grandbabies. Because then I got to go to jail. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to go to jail. But I'll be, if you understand what I'm saying? So why put anybody in that position, truthfully? But as I said, I can only speak from the side of the heterosexual male that be in the bathroom. And I done seen guys or people come in that bathroom who identify as women. I'm going to say it as safe as I can on that. I have seen people come in who identify as women. And I ain't never seen nobody start threatening them or beating them up or anything like that. Not saying it never happened. I'm just saying it's not the thing to do. And honestly, if that happened, I would probably be inclined to try to stop it. Like, oh, what are you doing? So, I don't know. I'm going to let Miss Crockett finish her little couple of minutes here because now I want to hear the debate of what she's saying. Nancy Mace is on this. She doesn't want men in women's spaces. She doesn't want them in the locker rooms. She doesn't want them in sports with women, biological men, biological women in sports together. And a lot of people agree with her on that point. But there are certain things where it's like this. If you ban something, then there has to be a consequence for it. So if you ban men and women's spaces, such as the bathroom, then now there has to be a real consequence for it. When you go to the bathroom, you'll see a note on the wall that'll say like, if you smoke in this bathroom, it's $1,000 fine and whatever. So it's telling you the rule, and if you break it, this is what you're looking at. If you start to ban something, then you're going to put a rule in place So there's going to be a sign on here. If you're a dude and you ain't supposed to be in here, you will be arrested. And you see what I'm saying? And then that becomes a little weird too. So, and I feel like some people would not immediately conform to that new thing, if that's the thing. And that would cause additional conflict because somebody else would feel like now they have the power to like arrest a person for it. So, slippery slope. Let's let her finish.
When I'm talking about how I'm going to govern for the American people. The facts are, in my state alone, in the state of Texas, I
knew she was
decided
Southern.
that they were going to overturn the Roe decision. 26,000 women then ended up raped. 26,000 is what we had reported. And that was only within about a year's time span. And when they reported those rapes, none of them seemed to have anything to do with trans folk. And I don't recall any legislation to help out those women in Texas and beyond that are actually dying. We're not projecting may die, but are actually dying or have died in southern states that have decided that they wanted to go after our reproductive freedom. So as a woman in this country, as a Texan, and as a black woman,
Well, that hair is heavy, ain't it?
when we look at the numbers,
It got her whole
and I believe in
head.
data and science, and I know
She
that
got
that
it
scares a lot of
just
people
the
in
whole
this country.
time.
But the numbers are clear that specifically black women have always struggled when it came down to the maternal mortality rates in general. The fact that somebody who looks like me, no matter how much money they have, because I can remind you of a very wealthy tennis star that almost lost her life while trying to give birth. Some things I
Bro, this
honestly just don't
conversation
think too
took a
much in, and
change.
frankly, I do believe in privacy because honestly, I don't want none of y'all making decisions if I ever end up pregnant.
I don't want
and have
none
to
of
decide
y'all.
what it takes for me to
Ciao.
live. And I give the same opportunity for other women in this country to make decisions as
And she
they see
cannot
fit.
lift her
So
head
while
straight up.
we
It's stuck.
Look at how we protect women completely
Look at
differently. I
it.
can tell you that at least in the 766,000 women or 766,000 constituents that I represent, I've had them come to me concerned about whether or not they could survive childbirth. But I have not had a single person in my district tell me that they were concerned that they may be raped by a trans person.
Okay. So, all right, hold on. Let me digest. Let me digest it. Let me digest it. Give me a second here. I got to digest. So, because no one has reported that that's happened from a trans person, then we should just open the door. That seems to be the argument. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if that's the argument, right? She's saying because it hasn't happened, or at least that she knows of, then we might as well just open the door. Because when women are being assaulted, they're not being assaulted by trans women. They're being assaulted by straight dudes who can't control themselves or whatever, right? I would have to disagree with that, Miss Crockett, okay? And I'm going to just give you one quick example about that. Anybody remember the story recently, because it's been a few of them, of a guy going into a jail, identifying as a woman, and then getting the daggone prisoners pregnant and such, or sexually assaulting them? That happens. And I've seen more than enough of those stories. So no, we're not talking about a bathroom in that situation, but we are talking about a particular space that's supposed to be only biological women, and we put a male person in there. Instinct and wild animalness will take over, because you know wild animalness takes over anyway when you're in jail. You become a little savage while you're in there. It just is what it is. So if you're a little savage and you happen to be a guy and you happen to be surrounded by a bunch of women and those women happen to be a little turned up is a good word to say it. So making that whole process a little bit easier if you're the guy that wants to do it. And what happens? They end up impregnating the whole damn tier. So This is the problem when you let dudes into spaces. Some of us are going to exploit it. I'm sorry, I'm not. But some of us are going to exploit it because that's what dudes do. If you give us a way into something goofy like that, there's a few of us out there that ain't got it all together and will try to utilize that to go snatching up women and throwing them in a van. I'm going to dress up as a lady. I'm going to go in this bathroom. I'm going to snatch me up a chick and throw her in my van. And nobody's going to say nothing because I'm allowed to be in there. That's problematic to think about. So yes, Jasmine Crockett, I appreciate you stating that that's not a widespread problem now. And the reason why it isn't is because it's not widespread trans type acceptance in bathrooms. There's a few like, you got the family bathroom at the airport and stuff, right? Where technically that's a trans bathroom. Everybody can go in there. Everybody, kids, adults, everybody's in there. You got the diaper changing thing on the side. So the family bathroom is technically like a trans bathroom. And no, there's not a bunch of people getting robbed and murdered in there. Okay? So I'll give you that. But I just feel like I don't trust dudes that I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? There's some guys out here that ain't got it all, right? They done lost a few marbles over the years, haven't been with a woman in a minute, and they might be willing to go to some really extreme lengths to try to quell that urge. And I would hate to think that they would do something like that, but I would hate to be foolish and think that they would, because that's foolish to think nobody would do that. Okay? Now, I'm going to return to that idea here about after we've seen the clips. For those of y'all that don't know who Nancy Mace is, Nancy Mace is a congresswoman. Jasmine Crockett is another congresswoman. And I will tell you right now, I got $25 on Jasmine Crockett. In a soft glove 3-round match, 3 minutes per round, I got Jasmine Crockett on that. Just being honest. Now, if Nancy Mace ever sees this, I'm sorry, Nancy. I'm not saying that you can't fight. I'm just saying Jasmine looks like she's ready to fight. You ever see somebody like just constantly? That's a wildcat. That's why the quote was, "Don't poke a wildcat," because they come at you with the claws right off the top, right off the top. So anyway, I'm getting ready to run out of time here in a second, guys. I'm sorry. Only got about 20-something minutes left, and I got to get to the Joe Biden farewell speech. I haven't seen it, just like I hadn't seen this. I just heard about it. I didn't know they did a whole 10-minute debate after that. I thought she just said that piece, and then they just moved on and went to litigating some shit. But no, they were trying to vote on whether or not to let trans people's bathroom rights be voted on. Meanwhile, people out here still hungry. Can't live. Now they done tapped into the whole Chinese TikTok thing called, what was that? Red something, red stripe, red zone, red something, red tone. And now they're seeing the Chinese people living better than us. And people are starting to become upset with that. So the world I think we're spending too much time on the bathroom conversation. Like, this thing's been going on for a minute. Look, let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. A lot of people have an issue with it. It seems like it gives an opportunity for something bad to happen. Let's just not do it. And let's move the hell on. But it's like every time I look up, we're talking about people who may or may not just be confused. And we feed the confusion and confuse ourselves. So now we're all confused out here. Nobody knows. But what I do know is if the wrong one get in the bathroom with the right one, or the wrong one, whatever, however you want to put it, and something pops off, the first thing they're going to say is, well, we should have never changed that law. So unless you're willing to have that kind of blood on your hands, I think you need to stop having that conversation. Because just like the illegal immigration thing, right? You let illegal immigration happen, you open the doors up, right? Legal immigrants came in, had a bunch of criminal charges, so on and so forth. Now, every time something happens that one of them do, they blame the immigration policy. Even though really it happened in a local area. Maybe the police already knew about the guy and didn't say anything. But they keep blaming the root cause, which is letting them in the first place. Which is how I feel about the bathroom. I'm not saying we won't be able to blame the person when they get out of line, but we got to be honest that they wouldn't even be in there if we didn't open up the door in the first place. So both things need to be dealt with simultaneously. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure in Congress, they probably got cliques, you know, because they already got the parties and stuff like that. So they click up, and I'm sure that they be ready to fight. Because to some people, some of this stuff is so far on the other side, it becomes disrespectful. Like Nancy Mace is not transphobic. She's mansphobic, okay? She doesn't want no man up in the bathroom with her who could possibly decide that today is the day that he don't like men's no more. He want women's. That's what she's worried about. That's a warranted fear. And as a person who respects and wants to protect women, the other Congress people should understand that and not necessarily ostracize the lady for it. Like, that's a warranted fear. Imagine me. I'm going to give you, y'all only seeing me on the screen. I'm like 6'5", 250 something pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dude. But if I decide to shave my beard, throw on a dress, and go up in the bathroom with Nancy Mace, she would probably have a fear of that. Like, whoa, that's a huge bitch. But it's not a bitch. It's a big-ass man is what she's going to see. So she's mansphobic. She's not transphobic. She's mansphobic. Let's get the words right. And the reason why that phobia is there is because there's men out here, big burly dudes that be looking for a way in to do some goofy shit. So we should protect against that to the best of our ability. And I don't see why